Today, we'll be walking through the Non-Delegated tab in ARIVE's Admin section. Let's get into it. You're going to notice when you go to the Non-Delegated tab, there's a prominent toggle right in the top left-hand corner of that pricing setup screen where you start. And it has two options, Non-Del and Broker. What you're picking is what the default pricing selection is going to be, or the default program that loans are going to start in. So both options will work, non-del or broker. You can see in the example that we have here, it's defaulting to broker. That does not mean that non-del isn't available. These other options are going to affect some of when that comes into play. You'll see that referenced in other areas of the ARIVE section as well. But know that you're setting a default for new loans going forward when you set this to non-del or broker. The two options on the right are going to affect that. One being if you're going to automatically convert lender credits to company margin, and the second being loan officers if they can override the industry channel. This one's important, especially if you don't have other automations or setups in place, and some programs for some lenders will be non-del and some will be broker, and you're relying on the end user to set it. Know that for loan officers to be able to do that, you will have to enable it here. In this case, a little bit hidden, so make a mental note of it. Down below, you're going to have the non-del override rules. So what this is, right, in this situation, it's defaulting to broker, but here's where you're going to use a rules engine to set up when this is true, it will be a non-del file instead. So consider the rules that you make here, along with that option of if loan officer can change industry channel. Because those two things need to be built in conjunction about how automatically you're going to set the structure of these files, and think about any gotchas that you have in place. Moving on to the next tab here, to the margin rules. This is another rule engine that exists inside, and the way that this is going to be structured up, none of these rules are visible in this example image, is you're going to give your rule a name, and then again, criteria of when this margin adjustment is going to take place, and whether you worsen or improve pricing and by a fixed amount or by a percent. This will be covered in another video about building these rules and recommendations for that. But know that as far as adjusting margin, that is going to be handled here regarding one of the places for margin calculation. The third tab is very straightforward. This is the mortgagee clause that's going to be handled when the appropriate option is decided. In the prior video on lenders, you noticed that we added mortgagees there, but on the corresponding non-delegated channel, it will reference this mortgagee clause. So when mortgagee issues come up, this is one of the two places you'll need to look. Look at the mortgagees that are in the lenders section, and look at the mortgagee that's on this non-delegated tab. The last line, and this gets applied at the very end of the process, is the warehouse bank rules. This is going to be used in making calculations regarding warehouse limits and haircuts. Now, there's not a ton of options here, and if you have a complicated warehouse agreement, it may not be able to fully simulate it. But you can do some initial bucketing of your warehouse line here. Keep in mind too, these are only going to apply to the calculations, but are not like automation rules that prevent or allow certain things to happen. This is only for the math portion that is going to occur when that loan is approaching finalized status and we're doing the warehouse line management piece. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you rely on these videos to stay up to date, consider supporting the channel using the link down in the description. See you next time.